Welcome, Jackie Naughton, our special guest on this morning's edition of Contact Center Showcase, Lessons from the Lockdown. Now, a bit of background, I've known Jackie for nearly 20 years now, since he established BYC down in Cape Town, now residing in the UK. So welcome, Jackie, and if you could start off by just giving a little bit of background to how you started BYC in Cape Town and the focus that you have on customer delivery and quality. So over to you for an introduction, please.
Thanks very much, Rod, and thanks for the opportunity. So my background was working for a large American BPO, had done that for a number of years, learnt a lot of things, and decided that as 20 years ago, South Africa was an emerging market within the industry, that it would be a good opportunity to take my skills and try something new working for myself. So BYC was born, initially training, consulting, guiding in the contact center industry, and then we evolved as an organization into providing outsourced quality solutions to clients. So that's both us fulfilling the customer delivery measurement across various contact center spaces, captive and BPO, all sectors, as well as technology solutions. So licensing the tool.
I remember the origins of BYC when you developed, what was the name of the Aqua?
Yeah.
Aqua. Now that's technology you developed specifically for doing outsourced QA.
Absolutely. So looking at all of the tools that were in the industry at the time, we wanted something that was unique, and it's about providing value, as we all know, to our clients. And it's ever changing. So Aqua is about 14, 15 years old now, and every year we invest significantly in ongoing development aligned to what our clients need. And so, yeah, it has some unique features, but what it does do is allow us to effectively operate from anywhere in the world and service our clients around the world with exactly what they need from a measurement perspective. So there's no restriction, which is lovely. It's fluid.
And that was, for me, the interesting piece was when you started going international and providing your services.
Yeah.
I remember correctly, from Cape Town, but servicing.
Always, it will always be from Cape Town. Despite the fact that I live in the UK, the investment and ongoing investment will remain in South Africa. And that predominantly is where our income comes from as an organization. So we license our software. It's about 30% of our turnover, and 70% is real people doing online QA measurement and online coaching to our client base around the world.
Well, in fact, that's a point we need to expand on a little bit. What is the scale of operations from Cape Town at the moment?
150 QA and online coaching resources.
Okay, and that's servicing your clients where in the UK, where else?
Everywhere. New Zealand, Australia, Dubai, Hong Kong, Singapore, Manila. So, yeah.
Okay, wonderful. And then fairly recently you announced a partnership with the global.
Yeah.
Can you expand on that for us?
Yeah, sure. So like many medium enterprises, we have conversations with organizations regularly who are interested in some form of investment into your company or acquisition. And we began discussions with Woven about a year ago, and they were very interested in the proposition that we had. It actually complemented their suite and their vision. So after much due diligence and engaging, we identified that they were a phenomenal cultural fit to our passion and commitment. Their commitment to South Africa was 100% sure, which is very important to me personally after building a business for 20 years. And they've got some amazing tools and services that we can bring to our clients throughout South Africa that will, continue the growth of the BYC team and continue their opportunities.
Can you describe their scale of operations as well?
Sure, yeah.
Not a big brand in South Africa yet.
No. Woven in the UK have over 1,000 seats. They provide strategic customer service, BPO services. They provide exceptional technology solutions under the T-Point brand. They're American based insofar as the investment comes from New York. And they have incredible plans to continue the growth through their delivery and through ongoing acquisition.
Wonderful. Thanks for that, Jack. Now, the realities and the purpose of this is
Yes.
lessons from the lockdown,
Yes.
COVID-19 pandemic. And
Yes.
can you just, you sitting in the UK now, just give us an overview of what is the impact on the contact center BPO industry or sector in the UK right now?
It's exactly the same, Rod. It's exactly the same as South Africa. Yeah. The difference is obviously the economy here was stronger than South Africa. The networks here, the connectivity, you have so much more choice here. It's more stable. Mm-hmm. So we've been in lockdown. We're in week 5 in the UK. So organizations here had to move quickly, and some have moved quicker than others, but they are doing exactly what people are doing in South Africa, which is home working wherever possible. Social distancing is a must. Again, the advantage that companies have here is the government funding, which is significantly, despite Cyril Ramaphosa's brief to the nation last night, you know, there are different realities in South Africa to send hundreds of people to their home to operate effectively. That infrastructure wasn't as stable, if you will, for the South African community. So I think UK are much more, they have much more advantages than in South Africa. So in South Africa, we have to think differently. We have to think about the realities of people working from home that have never done it before. We have to think about security of data. We have to think about personal security. We have to think about communication and how we keep our team with us. For those people who are used to coming to the office every day, working with their peer group and their managers and getting everything fed to them, and now you have a complete reliance on their own emotional intelligence and their desire to fulfill exactly as they did when they were being managed in the office. So it's been an incredible learning. I don't think the UK has anything unique in the challenges that it's faced in doing what South Africa's doing, in rethinking the way we service our clients and setting up home working.
So can you describe briefly the transition from your on-premises operations in Cape Town? You mentioned in our discussions earlier that you had a bit of a preview. You had
we did.
So,
yeah, my team thought I was insane when I said, okay, we need to start planning for office closure and continuing services to our client base, which is a non-negotiable. And I think that was because it was just felt here. The impact of COVID-19 was felt in the UK much faster than it was in South Africa. And we had longer, in fairness to South Africans. So we set up a project team where we organized people having the right technology, the right infrastructure at home, how we could maneuver 150 people at home working across the various campaigns that we operate for our clients around the world. And yeah, so it was a project plan that was run like a time machine, and communicating with our people that this would be coming, making sure we had all the checks and balances in place so that there was clear understanding of what the expectation would be. We're fortunate with Aqua as a technology that we can see absolutely everything that everybody's doing all of the time. So it's a web-based portal that enables much more flexibility. But the secure VPNs into the office network to protect data from a GDPR perspective, locking down machines when they're remote. And you know, the reality that a lot of our employees in Cape Town have families who now cannot go to school. You know, they're trying to operate around the realities of being confined in often small environments without the infrastructure. So the change management was absolutely key. And to support the change management was communication. So you didn't add to the fear that was inevitable or the anxiety that was inevitable, but you really promoted a level of self-confidence that this is a different way of working and a new opportunity for the future of BYC. So we took that approach with our people. We provided training on how to maintain managing a PC at home, because many of them had never even thought about it. They'd just call technology if there was an issue, and somebody would be there to fix it. So working on your own and keeping the mental agility with 150 people in 150 different places was key to us. So some of the things that we've done which are exactly what we do every single day as an organization. We have our morning huddles with the teams, and we use technology, as you are now, to do that, so we can identify priority. Is everybody safe? Is everybody healthy? And how are we doing? What are the issues? What are the challenges? What are the successes? So focusing on the realities and not letting go as a company of the strategic plans that we had in place for 2020, and keep bringing those discussions into it. So it's not just focusing on, you know, COVID-19, it's actually painting a picture into the future that it will be different, but there's still a lot of positives and we will get through this. So it's kind of harnessing your team, I think, is probably the key thing. Agility, proactivity and flexibility is key throughout the entire organization at a time like this.
Any specific lessons that you've learned that you would have done differently?
Yeah, had I have known, had any of us have known, yes, definitely what we've recognized is the percentage of our resources that don't have the ability to be self-reliant 100% of the time. So the demographic of resources going forward, I will definitely take a different perspective on it.
You know, from a recruitment point of view, right?
Yeah, I mean, recruitment, you can do everything remotely. You know, we're sending videos, we're sending updates, I'm doing personal briefings to the team on what's happening in the organization and painting the picture. That's key. We work in a communication sector, so we need to continue the communication with our people and keep them on board and keep them hopeful. But yeah, you know, technology is an amazing thing. So you can push information any way you need to at any time and as regular as you need to.
So any other lessons that you would share?
Yeah, demographic. I think going forward, what it's taught me is our business will look very, very different once we're through this. And I've learned those resources that I don't need to pay office space for, that they operate just as effectively from home, if not more so. You know, initially it was a lot of maintenance. The first week, I'd say there was a lot more maintenance needed doing, but now people are finding their rhythm. And in giving them top tips and handy hints. We were really lucky, Rod, because we've actually had home workers for over 10 years already.
I remember when I started playing, yeah.
So all we had to do was lift and shift that model. And I won't say it's worked 100% of the time, that would be unrealistic. The key is making sure that our clients get exactly what they want and more all of the time. So apart from looking at the internal aspect of your people, which is your brand, it was then looking at what your clients were going to go through during this pandemic, what needed to change from our service delivery perspective and how we could provide different solutions to them so that you keep your clients with you regardless of their circumstances. And a lot of companies are concerned about how the home working delivery is happening in our industry, understandably, because they don't feel like they have the control of it. So measuring the customer delivery through the quality process is actually a huge opportunity for us, because we can tell at a moment's notice whether or not somebody in their living room with a 3-year-old running around screaming is struggling with the brand protection of service for their consumers. And so we help our clients and manage that process.
So on the quality and compliance component.
Absolutely, yeah.
We're heading into the wrap-up, Jax, but could you, from your perspective, having been in our industry for a long time, put it that way.
Yes, thank you.
Let's look at the world beyond COVID.
Yeah.
How different is our industry, our global industry, both in captive contact centers and in BPO? How different do you see it evolving?
I think the voice engagement will reduce enormously, Rod. I think consumer behavior has, by being forced, is getting so much more used to chat versus engaging online. Chat has definitely exploded as a service delivery option versus voice. So I think that will be a significant change, that we will go into a hybrid solution of customer delivery, that the super agent that we've been talking about for about half a decade now will come into its own much faster, that decision making at a frontline level within organizations is going to change from transactional to strategic.
Okay, a wonderful world beyond COVID.
Yes.
I call it World 2.0.
Yes.
Which hopefully will be a better world, a better communities, better business.
Yeah.
Let's work towards that. So, Jackie Naughton, thank you very much for sharing time and your insights with us on this contact center showcase. And we look forward to having you back in due course.
It would be a pleasure, Rod.
We can look back on the COVID-19 era and the lessons that we learned during that time. So thank you very much, Jackie.
Rod, thank you for the opportunity and stay safe.